of gods. Together, we will transform our lives and empower people. Together, we will reach the sun.
proud and we have worked hard and have given our best in order for all of us to progress and fulfill our final goal. Together with our 8 partners across Europe, we have contributed to create an innovative generation of students and professionals equipped to address regional and global challenges through education and research. Together we have made a tremendous progress. And this is the reason that today we can proudly stand the motto of this conference: research the world, reach the stars. Thanks to the great assistance and the financial support of you for this project, with the deepest gratitude to our partner universities and the amazing work from all our academic staff, researchers, students and administrations. STARS-EU has become an important collective institution for a European university as well as a true inspiration. Our 9 universities are working toward a joint degree and creating a joint physical and virtual academic campus. This will transform not only the life of our universities, but will foster interregional collaboration and promote sustainable regional and European development. On behalf of our university, we assure you, all our partners, that we will stay committed to research collaboration, will engage in shared projects, contribute in dual degrees and the STARS-EU joint degree. University Alexander Moisiu Durrës will be fully committed with all our academic resources to the Strategic Alliance for Regional Transition. I say this with great certainty because we have amazing academic staff and wonderful community of students. But also, as a public university with private capital, we have a great support by the Albanian government. The Prime Minister himself has laid a clear vision for the present and the future of Albanian universities, and that is the European University. The Prime Minister and his government, for the first time ever in the last 3 decades, has put the right focus on research, international collaboration, dual degrees, projects and innovation. And for the first time ever, a Prime Minister has negotiated personally to achieving collaboration between Albanian universities and European ones. Thank you, Prime Minister, for this. Thank you, Minister Liu, for Visionary National Strategic Plan 2025 to 2030 on higher education, and your continuous focus on research and international academic collaboration. Honorable guests, it is a great honor for our university to host this important event. It is a true privilege to welcome here in Durrës distinguished personalities of academia, government, diplomacy and businesses from 8 European countries. It is a great privilege for our university to host the annual conference STARS-EU in Albania, an alliance that strengthens our common academic offer, promotes the exchange of ideas, inspires people and innovation in research and teaching, and brings us closer together as a European university. Thank you to everyone. Together, we research the world, they reach the stars. Thank you indeed.
Thank you, Rector Fertuzzi, for your inspiring address. It is now my pleasure to invite Mr. Dick Pauwels, President of Hanze University of Applied Sciences and Doctor Honoris Causa of Alexander Moisiu University, to deliver his address. Please join me in welcoming him.
Esteemed Rector of Alexander Moisiu University, Professor Skelkim Fertuzzi, esteemed guests, dear colleagues, dear partners, esteemed Mayor, mayors, aldermen, and ambassadors here, esteemed Mr. Polman, dear staff and students of Alexander Moisio University, dear colleagues, dear rectors and presidents, colleagues, dear STARS EU partners. A warm welcome to all of you here in this beautiful and historic city of Durs. It's both a privilege and a great pleasure to be here and to gather here once again. A special word of gratitude to the Alexander Moisio University for organizing and hosting this conference here in Albania. It's an honor to stand here for you today. This 5th annual conference is a pivotal moment that highlights the strengths and evolution of our alliance. It promises to be an interesting exchange in Yes, it's there again. It's a big audience, so I did not dare it without a microphone, but I will continue. This 5th annual conference is a pivotal moment that highlights the strength and the evolution of our alliance. It promises to be an inspiring and interesting exchange of our shared goals. A moment where we come together to celebrate our strategic partnership, the collaboration to develop the STARS EU alliance as a European university and to enhance the regional transition. Achieving this transition requires not only expertise, but also the courage to challenge boundaries, both personal and cultural. As philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once noted, everyone perceives the boundaries of their own field of vision as the boundaries of the world. And those boundaries are constantly being redefined, changed, shifted, guarded, and crossed. Everyone needs boundaries, but equally, everyone needs the ability to push beyond them. This is what defines us as an alliance of 9 dedicated partners. Through our collective focus on innovation and academic excellence and regional acceleration, we break barriers and grow together. We, as STARS EU, strive to equip our students with the skills, mindset and determination to become true agents of change, leaders in the pursuit of a more sustainable and more inclusive world. For a long time, the primary role of universities was to transmit and develop knowledge. Today, education evolved in something that is much more. It's about recognizing and strengthening the true potential, the true talent of our students, empowering them to share their abilities. Our mission is to inspire them to become the change makers we need as society. Only then we can truly realize our ambitions as STARS EU. As universities from non-capital cities, our goal is to strengthen our own regions, enrich our cultures, and reinforce ecosystems that support them. We achieve this by learning from each other, by pushing beyond our own boundaries, and by expanding our perspectives beyond what we can currently see. However, if our primary focus is on education and strengthening the talent of our students, where does that leave our research? Is research not equally relevant? Yes, of course, it is. To build resilient and thriving regions, we need knowledge and different perspectives. Whether in economics, culture, energy, health, or social resilience, knowledge is fundamental. We need to understand how things function to reinforce our ecosystems, to shape the future effectively. Without research, we lack the groundwork of which talent can grow. How does health function in a changing society? What is the future of renewable energy? How do we cultivate resilient communities? These are the questions that must be explored in order to start the transition I mentioned. And that does not happen overnight. It is a continuous process that requires perseverance, vision, and adaptability. It's not a single, isolated action, it is an ongoing transformation. It is the deliberate construction of the future piece by piece. A process that one can compare to the building of a cathedral, a project requiring vision, dedication, and time. A cathedral is an enduring symbol of long-term vision, not just because of the strength of its weight and the strength and the resilience of its construction, but even more because of the unwavering commitment required to complete it. The construction process fosters cohesion, solidarity, and the ability to look beyond one's horizon. Allow me to share an old story about the construction of a cathedral. There were once 3 men working on a cathedral wall. The passerby, curious, decides to ask what they are doing. The first bricklayer says, "I'm just stacking some bricks." The second says, "I'm building a wall." But the third says with a radiant smile, "I'm building a cathedral." The construction of a cathedral requires skill in laying bricks, but more importantly, it calls for visionaries, people who see the bigger picture. And we need those who can extend their field of vision, the talent to stretch beyond your own field of vision, the talent to understand specific strengths and opportunities of our own regions by exploring each other's regions. We need the cathedral builders. In the context of building this cathedral, the role of research is almost self-evident. Just as cathedral builders require a strong foundation, our universities need research to support talent and regional development. Research serves as the bedrock, the foundation of our ground structure. And therefore, it's no coincidence that research is a central theme of this conference. Universities have a crucial responsibility to bring 2 fundamental pillars to society: knowledge and human talent. And without knowledge, without exploring the world, talent cannot truly flourish. And in order to explore the world, we must be willing to push to the limits of what is known. This conference, Reaching the World, Reaching for the Stars, is all about that. Today, we focus on laying the foundations of our ground structure, the bedrock of our cathedral. And let's build together and reach to the stars. I wish you all a good conference, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pauwels, for your remarks and your commitment to the StarsU Alliance. Your leadership continues to inspire our collective efforts. It is a pleasure now to present our next distinguished speaker, Ms. Ana Kapai, the Deputy Minister of Education and Sports in Albania. Please, Ms. Kapai, the floor is yours. Dear Rector, dear partners, dear guests, dear friends, dear colleagues. It is always a great pleasure for me personally to be present in these activities that Alexander Mosiu University organizes. Alexander Mosiu University, despite being the youngest public university in Albania, is the university that has progressed at the fastest pace than any other public university in Albania. This is both in terms of students and in terms of study programs that this university offers, but also in terms of internationalization, partnerships, and projects. Your university has quite a rich academic offer with 112 study programs organized by the 5 faculty that this university has, offering 8 joint programs with double degrees and offering 7 programs in English. With a total student number little more than 70,000, just in the first year, as far as I know, you have reached for this year 2,500 students. It is easy to understand the potential that this university has. As part of the implementation of the internationalization strategy of university alliances in November 2022, University Alexander Mosiu joined as a partner in the European University Alliance, STARS EU, Strategic Alliance for Regional Transmission, a project supported by the European Union with a total fund of 14 million euros, the larger of its kind in which this university is part. As the alliance of 9 important universities from Netherlands, from France, from Spain, from Germany, from Portugal, Poland, Sweden, and Czech Republic, Alexander Mosiu University is the only university from Western Balkans and from a non-member country. This is a very important step towards the opening of this university and towards the internationalization of this university. This alliance is strategic for Alexander Mosiu University in the long-term plan of scientific research, of teaching, of joint degrees, of increasing academic capacity, exchanging academic staff and students, creating cooperation and strategic regional development. Just for the last 2 years, the Ministry of Education and Sport, through the Agency of Scientific Research, has supported the research in this university, supporting 3 scientific research in infrastructure in a total amount of around 190,000 euros, and also 7 other projects in scientific research in a total amount of around 76,000 euros. This shows the great involvement that the Ministry of Education and Sport and government has towards higher education in Albania. The Ministry has supported and will always continue to support the internationalization and scientific research in higher education. The College of Europe, the UNED field in Gjirokastra, 40 joint study programs, all in Albania, 95 programs offered in different languages in all our universities, are concrete and tangible examples of the new reality that higher education in Albania is having. In the behalf of the Minister and in the behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I wish you all a very successful and fruitful conference, believing that this will continue to hear beautiful and ambitious initiatives from Alexander Mosiu University. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Minister, for your ongoing efforts to support the higher education in Albania. We are now very honored to welcome Ms. Anila Troshani, Head of the Sector in European Education and Culture Executive Agency. Please, Ms. Troshani, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. And I start with a big thank you. And I'm looking to Rima. Rima asked me to join in a meeting in steering committee in Groningen some time ago. And I said, oh, it's interesting, but very close to Brussels, Groningen. And she said later, look, we have a big event in Durrës. And you might imagine that my eyes shined and I said, yes, Durrës. I'm Anila, I'm Albanian, and I'm very pleased to be here with you in my honorable country and my beautiful country. And I'm very pleased to be to the university in Durrës, which I have been following sometimes his involvement through different projects that we have funded as for the other universities in Western Balkans. Dear guests, I'm working in the executive agency, and which you know very well, most of you, are implementing projects on behalf of European Commission and I'm working in the sector which is implementing European University Initiative. I had prepared a paper to tell you what is European University Initiatives, but then I lost it, and I thought, I'm leaving it. What I can tell to those 9 universities what European University is, they are doing it. So I have to learn from them what European University is. And that's what is happening in those 3 days, that I'm here leaving with you what European University Initiative is. Clearly, I heard, and I guess you, I didn't want to scare. Everybody is looking at me as a scaring, because I'm monitoring, but I think, and therefore I'm learning with you every day. I'm learning from 65 European University initiatives that are paving the way toward the future. And I don't want to enter what it is. You all know. You are all here because you know what it is. You are working to make it a reality. So 65 European University Alliance, more than 500 universities involved. And what I would like very much to underline, more than 500 organizations outside of the alliance that are cooperating with those alliances in order to reach the objectives, to make a change not only at the universities, not only in higher education area landscape, but to make a change in the regions, to make a change and have an impact at the society. I'll start, I can continue saying what it is. I would only one thing to remind everybody here, and I started yesterday my meeting students, because I think all we here, we are a certain age, we are young, we are older, but our main aim is really to equip those students for a competitive, and lately you are hearing very much about competitiveness. So basically we want to prepare those young generations for a competitive Europe for the future. And more than ever, we want these young generations and us feeling Europeans. So almost and above all, European University Initiative is bringing people together, sharing and creating one European identity, which is one of the key elements. We're building on this identity, the future, our kids, the future of our generations. I'll start with a very positive, because I know that there is 4 years, what's next about European universities. You might have heard, and you might know, most of you who are in the field, that our President von der Leyen, in her priorities political agenda, has put European University Initiative as the main initiative in higher education, and therefore no doubts, and that I don't know the amounts, but by no doubt that the European University Initiative will continue even in the next generation of funding. And there is a lot of work behind to make for those alliances simple way of accessing grants, bigger grants, in order to ensure a stable funding of the activities of those European university alliances. What's next? Do we have more European alliances, less European alliances? Of course, we will have 65s, and maybe in the future some of them, but we would like very much that those 65 European alliances become a role model for the other institutions which are not in. Europe counts today more than 4,000 institutions, higher education institutions, that are looking outside what's going on with those European university alliances. What are they producing? What are they doing? And that is the timing that we have to show and to convince what we're doing. It needs time. Somebody this morning director told me when they have been asked, what do you need? We need time. And it's true, you need time to show what impact your activities will have. A second one, an element positive that I would like very much, that you know that our Vice President for Skills and the people and preparedness has put the effort now. It's really a European degree and union of skills. A European degree, it's one of the biggest initiatives that basically we're launching, believing that this is the future for our young students, that they can move from one university to another university, they can build up their curricula, and everything will be recognized, and at the end will be one European degree. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's not easy because, of course, the universities will be working there. But of course, and here I look to the ministers, that clearly a European degree will never be a reality if the national legislations will not change to encourage the establishment of the European degree. And therefore, we're working very closely to make it reality, and working here with the ministers in order to be able in the future to change legislations in order to make European degree a reality. It will be long, yes, it will be long, but we believe that the European Universities Alliances are the best place to experiment it and to advance it in the future. From European University Alliances, everything requested. So whatever comes in higher education, we turn and say, European University Alliance should do it. You have realized it, okay? So the new Union of Skills that is very much on top of the political agenda today, which clearly mentions the preparation of our skills, skilling, reskilling of our student skills. It puts again the European University Alliance in the center, in the heart of their activities. And therefore, in the next generation or in the next close future, European Universities Alliances will be as well the pioneers of developing and putting in place the European Union of Skills. So, as you have seen, with 65 alliances, we aim to change European higher education. It's a big thing on the shoulders of all partners who are involved in the European Alliance. But we strongly believe that the alliances that we have created, we will go in the stars, we will build castles, but we believe that we haven't done yet, but they have done a remarkable job. They are building a strong cooperation for continuing transforming their institution and building a European higher education area. And here I'll take only one moment, not more time, to underline as well the importance and the openness of European University Alliance toward the Western Balkans institutions, because I think that has been one of the new features of this initiatives. Of course, I have studied in the university in Tirana. For the Albanians has been the Fakulteti Urithave, so geophysics. And for who doesn't know, Fakulteti Urithave have been the faculty of moles, was called, because it was geology underground. And therefore, for years, I have been working in capacity building, and I have been witnessing how the universities in Albania have been evolving. They have been changing, but strongly believe that their participation in the European University Alliance in the long term, entering in a deep cooperation, it's a game change for the Western Balkan universities. It's a game change for Western Balkan when, as well for the Albanians, which are very well presented. I mean, it is only 8 universities for Western Balkans and 3 are in Albania. But I do believe that for the Albanian universities, that is a game changer because they will be confronted with the most advanced universities that they are be working. They will modernize, which is very important. Governance, European University Alliances are working in new ways of governance, and that will help European universities to develop innovation, digitalizations, everything which was mentioned before. But I do believe here as well that in these alliances, those universities bring a lot, okay? Because I think it's beneficial for both sides to have European universities and to have the Albanian universities because they bring freshness, okay? They are 20 years old university. They bring freshness, they bring knowledge, they are a bridge for gapping regional cooperation. So in that sense, I do believe the European Alliance transforms all institutions and rely on this deep cooperation and the benefit of everybody being inside. And I think that is very important why we have opened the European University Alliance to Western Balkan, hopefully to bring them toward an integration and having soon Albania, as the others, a European country, which will be, maybe I'll be in pension, I'm sure, but it would be a good pleasure for my kids that they have half Albania to see that the Albania one day will be sitting as well as a European Union country. Now, I think I'll stop here because maybe I took a longer time. Everybody, very nice conference. Enjoy it because as I like to mention one say of our architect of Europe, Delors, he says, Europe is not done by treaties. Europe is not in paper. Europe is done by sharing knowledge and sharing education. And that's what you're doing. You are building Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shani. So much inspiration in your words. Thank you very much for your words, your contribution to our alliance. It's now my pleasure to invite Ms. Rima Dijkstra, the STAR-CU coordinator, who will present the State of the Alliance address. Dear Rima, the floor is yours.
Should I start? Good morning. Good morning, distinguished guests. Good morning, rectors, presidents. Good morning, ambassadors. Good morning, partners, stakeholders, colleagues, dear friends. It is my great pleasure today to present you the state of the STAR-CU Alliance, where we stand, what we did, and also share our plans for future. I should show like this when slides moving, so on this. We are alliance of 9 European universities. We coming from different parts of regions. We are non-capital regions representatives, and this is unites us, and this is also give us our strength. We are very much involved to the region development, very much contribute to that, but also we are engaging our regions to cooperate together. We supporting inter-regional cooperation. We are different types of universities, with applied science universities and scientific research-oriented universities, which also gives some benefits for us. We are complementary, and because we are from the similar regions addressing similar societal challenges, it also gives us benefits to contribute to the regional problems, to regional transitions. Together we are 150,000 students. We have 15,000 staff, including 5,000 researchers, and about 70 faculties. This is just the numbers, but we are not all members of our staff and not all stakeholders involved yet in our alliance activities, but this is our goal, to become really alliance with engagement, full engagement of our partners. So we together developing STARS European University, aiming to new generation innovative students, aiming to improve our educational and research systems, to learn from each other and make impact to the regions and to Europe after. So we're contributing to green and digital transformation, and we have, if you go to next slide, and we have many students involved in our activities. This is a special slide to students. We have here them. Could you stand up, please? Show how many of you are here, that we can applaud for you. So thank you very much for your dedication, for your involvement, for your ideas. We learn from you a lot. And we look at our students from two perspectives. From one perspective, we look at you like at our advisors, our ambassadors, influencers. And from other perspective, we look at you at like our main goal group, because we're building European University for you, for your future generations. So you are our like main target group. At the same time, you are making initiatives yourself. We have quite a few student-led initiatives, but also we are taking assignments from us in many things. Just one example. We even run our social media sometimes, not all channels, but this is, and they suggested it. So also, this is, you saw just like a students' board, but we have many students in our partner universities involved. We have working groups where our students coming together, preparing for us like communication strategy, for example, how we should improve. These constellations which you saw in the beginning, it's also a suggestion from our students. So thank you very much for your involvement. This is, in a nutshell, how STARS EU ecosystem looks. We aiming to fulfill all four missions of universities. It's education, it's research, it's innovation, and service for society. Like all speakers mentioned, that education is like main important our task every day to fulfill. So we have for that curriculum lab, where are people working very hard on our education strategy, preparing our STARS joint academic offer, looking for new innovative teaching methods, and also forming our and facilitating our learning and teaching community. This conference, this EU annual conference, is dedicated to research. So for that, we have Challenge Lab, and at the moment we are preparing research solutions agenda for STARS EU, which will be discussed also in afternoon one of parallel sessions. And we are looking forward how we can design our agenda for the future and make real steps. We want to improve our excellence in research, and for this we're aiming, and we're also asking input from all partner researchers, from all partner universities to contribute to that. And also, of course, next to that, we have many other issues to do. We establish our STARS EU Technology Transfer Office. We are facilitating our researchers community. We have many next to the research solutions agenda, many other issues like also improving researchers and entrepreneurial skills and so on. For regional transitions support, we have Regional Transition Accelerator, and we are working on to connect our regions, not only contribute to our regional development to regional prosperity, but also to connect our regions at all levels, to connect our stakeholders in terms of local governments, regional governments, because we can share from each other and learn from each other and adopt some good practices. Also to connect our businesses, industry, NGOs, other knowledge institutions. For that, we're building multi-stakeholder partnerships in each partner region. We call it the STARS-EU Living Labs in certain thematic area. I will talk a little bit later about it, and we're also forming network of our stakeholders. So our thematic interest group, knowledge creating teams, working in 9 priority areas, and I will tell a bit later about it. If you go to next. So this is our STARS-EU priority areas. As I mentioned, we have one common strength. We are very much regional involvement universities. We are very much looking at support and make impact to regional transitions and interregional collaboration. We have 3 priority areas: green transition, digital transformation, and social value and well-being. So there are all our thematic interest group. We call thematic interest group. In Europe, we call it knowledge creating teams. So we all operating to contribute to 1 or 2 or even all priority areas. So our thematic interest groups has developed their own strategic operation agendas for 3 years. And we have yearly implementation plans. We cooperate in education, we cooperate in research, in innovation, and we are happy that a community of our TICs is growing, each TIC also improving. So, and we are alliance which working already for more than 4 years. So it means we have some records already behind and with us. So we have projects implemented, like 12 projects now is going on. We have 8 potential projects, and we have quite a few blended intensive programs implementing and so on a pipeline. So I would like to mention just example, because I can't mention all 12 and 28, but I would like to share the project Ignition, which was one of the first STARS-EU partners projects on digital literacy, and we're just finishing graduating next month. So we have some really outcomes which we want and we will use in our future activities. We had digital agenda, we had identified toolkits for engagement and so on. And we have also quite a few blended intensive programs. So one of them I would like to mention for teachers, for staff, because mostly we do it for students, but also we did for teachers and it was very successful. So second edition already coming. And there was very successful activity Future Lab, which also was implemented using BIP. So as I mentioned, we have many activities, many projects, but one of them is very important, STARS-EU project, which thanks to European Commission and to Anila's agency was funded. So thank you for it. And I should say apologies to all working teams, because all working teams did so much things that if I want to present everything, it would take, I had 26 slides. So, but I didn't want to bother you so much. We try to cut and just highlight what is most important. So we have 8 work packages working together, and we have the concept that we're working in tasks. So each work package has tasks, and task has teams, and each task team, all partners are involved. So because of research solutions agenda discussion, it's a Challenge Lab took a lead in organizing additional session in this conference. And if I look at these achievements, it's only for 1 year. It's not from a complete project. So as I mentioned, we have already STARS-EU TTO established. We identified research needs for our researchers. We have a research mentoring program. We organize STAR Talks, webinars every month, the researchers coming and sharing, or other stars coming and sharing their stories. And now we're starting new podcast, because not everybody can join and share webinars, but everybody can listen podcasts. And our next steps, so research solutions agenda, it's on the pipeline, so we are working hard on it. We also are starting to prioritize list for research and innovation skills for our STARS-EU curricula. Action plan for entrepreneurship and innovation for researchers is under preparation, and intellectual property right guides, which is important in terms of cooperation in research. It's very important to document an agreement how we use this outcomes of the research, and mentoring program also under preparation. So if we go to work package 3, which is the biggest work package and the most heavy one, because it is about education, about curricula. It's curriculum lab, but I am very proud of you that you're proceeding very well. We have already future competences observatory done, competences catalog prepared, handbooks for STARS-EU innovative learning and teaching, also for learning and teaching techniques ready. And we now have a joint curricula catalog for testing. It's 63 courses identified, 28 BIPs coming, and 13 degrees and 14 PhDs. So it is a wish list for PhDs also prepared. And the next steps, we're working now also on internal quality assurance system, on the quality assurance of learning and teaching, because quality also very important part. And also we're working on micro-credentials and implementation of our joint degrees. I am very proud, you don't see it perhaps, but we identified 18 degrees potentially, which we can implement together, so which is really very promising. Regarding the regional transition accelerator, we are really working very hard and started our multi-stakeholder partnership, Living Lab. This is a pilot which started in our partner region in Braganza with cooperation with municipality, and it's called Nexus, and have a team on digital and health aging. So after this piloting, we will continue. We will establish second Living Lab in French Comté region in France. The theme is already agreed that it will be energy transition. Also, I am very proud that Future Lab, which supports deep tech students to become more creative and to implement their ideas. The first Future Lab was already in Poland. The students, 25 students, worked helping municipality of Zaklisin, if I'm right pronouncing, to modernize their city and attract more tourists. The second Future Lab will be again in French Comté, and students will come to help to solve the problems, the challenges. Also, our first traineeship program for the students under preparation, and I already heard some students from Albania would like also to come for traineeship in Groningen or in other partner regions, so we will, very soon we will welcome our traineeships. If you go further. And very important, very useful development is a campus. STARS-EU campus, where everything actually happening, all this curriculum, challenge lab, and where everything operates, is also on its way. So we have establishing digital campus and also physical campus. We have already prepared inventory, so what kind of assets, labs, and what we have in our regions. And we are looking now how we can share it. We have a catalog for that, all instruments, services, and infrastructure. Prepared joint campus management system already, and we have overall vision on the digital campus. We have to develop everything further that our students could easily log in and have their lessons and their activities online. So we have to have coordinated campus management system. Also, we are going to sign STARS-EU campus charter, and physical campus and digital campus will start via pilots. If you go to mobility, work package 6, it is the program Reach the Stars. So we're using stars everywhere. So we have already like type of mobilities identified because thank you, we were allowed from the European Commission and agency to describe our own types of mobility. So we identified it. We appointed managers for mobility. We have a method how to calculate mobilities, and we signed bilateral agreement, the agreement for interinstitutional agreement we had before, but now we have bilateral agreements as well. And we have courses for the partner universities catalog. Courses of partner universities catalog is ready. And now we continue drafting our program, Reach for the Stars, and implement her. And if you go to the work package 8, it is a work package for communication and dissemination. As you see now, the social media, it's viral with Stars EU conference in Durres. So the team, communication team, and especially the University of Alexandria University team doing really great job. So thanks for that. They continue, communication team continue implement their plans. We have a very active implementation of different activities. They have prepared success stories, testimonials from all superstars, we call it. We have, they also launched the first challenge for students, Stars EU Challenge. We have announced the competition, which student will be the most active on social media until end of June. In July, beginning of July, we announced the winner, and winner will lead a social media campaign in one of the conferences. So this is also, we try to involve as much as possible you in our developments. So open science on the pipeline, we have to adopt open air platform, and we have to start podcast. So if you go to the next slide, it is about long-term strategic cooperation. What Anila mentioned, we try to become real model for future universities, sustainable model, how alliances can really operate efficiently and effectively. So we started preparation for strategy Stars EU 2037, also with a roadmap of its implementation. We're discussing now on governance of the alliance. We want to improve it to make it more efficient and more effective, and not too complicated, but very clear and very in operation. And we're also preparing a Stars EU funding plan, because it's also very important to have real sustainable support of our activities, because we worked without the funding for 2.5, 3 years. And just a few very important KPIs, which will be checked after our project will be over, so we have to fulfill them. But as you see on the picture, we are happy to do so. If you go to the next slide. And what is challenges ahead? It's we're working very hard, and it looks quite smooth, but in reality we have the journey is far from over. We have to really work very hard, engaging our staff, our students. We have to embed our Stars EU activities in our in university activities. It should become like our daily work. We have to ensure the sustainability of our activities, not only making plans, but also giving resources to implement them. And of course, fulfill our 4 missions of the university. Improve our education to become more attractive, to lift our research to the world level, and to make impact on our regions and cities and engage our civic society. I would like to rephrase the Japanese writer Satoru. One by one, we're just tiny drops in an ocean. But if we come all together, we are an ocean. So we are power, we can dream together, we can create together, and we can reach stars together. So all of you did enormous job and should be proud of your achievements in your activities. So I really thank you all and each of you for your hard work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rima, and thank you to all our distinguished panel of speakers.
Now we will take a short break, a coffee break. Please feel free to join us in the ground floor of the building one, this building, for refreshment and networking. We will continue at 11 for the next session featuring Mr. Han Polman, State Councillor at the Council of State of the Netherlands and former King's Commissioner and Governor of Zealand. Following that, at 12, we will have the session of the StarCU students from today to the future. Enjoy your coffee break and see you in a bit here. Thank you very much.
We are stars ULIs. We bring together 9 universities from all over Europe. Together, we want to help build a sustainable future for Europe and the world. By sharing our knowledge and using our strengths, we can learn, grow, connect, and broaden our world. Diversity is our strength. We come from different religions.
governance and international collaboration. After Mr. Pollman's address, there will be a session of question and answers, so be prepared. Thank you very much. Mr. Pollman, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear President, Rector of this university, colleague rectors, Mr. Ambassador, dear friends of STAR EU. I thought I have to compete here with the other star, the sun, because the sun is shining outside. Do people come back? I'm very glad you are here. Well, that's me. That's the first slide. It's an honor for me to give a contribution to this very important alliance in Europe. You know, it's always important to have alliances between people, organizations, but I think in these times it's especially important that we as European citizens invest in working together to strengthen the European values we have, and that's development of young people, of education, but it's also to let us be leading by the values we have learned in 80 years after the Second World War. It's very important that we know when we see the challenges in the world that nothing is for granted. You have to work on it, and it's so important, your responsibility for young people, that you work on that every day. I learned from Rima that this is the next slide. Is this the slide before? When we can go back to the first slide? Because I want to introduce myself very shortly. I was working as the Minister of Home Affairs and Mayor and Governor. We have a King's Commissioner of the province of Zeeland. And I was chair of a National Advisory Board. And now, since September 1 year ago, I'm a state councillor for the government and the parliament of the Netherlands. And I'm married with Caroline, and I have 4 children. It's not on the slide, but I think that's very important. Now the next one, please. Well, my context is, of course, what I've done in my work and my life. But especially the last 11.5 years, I was chair of the government of Zeeland. It's one of the 12 provinces in the Netherlands we have. And let me give a short introduction of that region. It's a delta region. It exists of many isles, connected by bridges, by tunnels. It has 13 municipalities, 1 province. It's very diverse in very different identities. Each municipality is proud of its own identity because the isles have their own history, a very rich history. But people feel, well, we are Zeeuwen, as we call it. We feel we come from the same region. When you are in Zeeland, people say, well, he is from that city, and that city is totally different. But when you go out of your province, you are Zeeuw, and you are proud that you are Zeeuw. So that's how I can characteristic this province. In the business, people think, well, it's beautiful to have holiday there, but 30% of what we earn as income is industry, is harbor, is chemical industry. So it's a very important industrial province, and some 10% is tourism, 10% is agriculture, fishery, because of the sea and the water. I think it's very important for all regions in Europe that educational supply is nearby. So the province of Zeeland has, of course, preparatory, secondary, vocational, but also upper secondary, vocational, and applied university, research university. So it's very important that when you have small regions with those possibilities of research and education, that those institutions work together very good. Because the scale, when you have a small scale, it's very important to scale up in partnership, to work together. Because when you stand on your own, you are too vulnerable. You are too small to look at the challenges you have in your organization, the challenges in making good educational programs. You need each other. So the mutual dependency, you have to underline that. And because of that, you have to work very closely. So in Zeeland, we do. And especially because of the challenges, the transitions we all meet, the digital transition, the green agenda, the way we try to develop people, also younger people, very important for different regions in Europe, also in Zeeland. Many young people want to study as far as possible from their parents, but it's very important that you have a lot of possibilities to study in your own region and to be attractive for other students from other regions to come studying in your region. So it's very important to work together, and I think one of the conditions, I will tell more about that, is that there's a need for a common agenda. What's the agenda of the region? And it's not an agenda of the knowledge institutions or agenda for business people or agenda for government. No, it's a common agenda. What are the shared common challenges we have to build our strategic regional agenda on? That's very important. And for Zeeland, it's water, food, energy. And of course, social challenges we have everywhere. But water, food, and energy, we try to be in the front line in new innovations, in research, because this province has the characteristics of many isles. There is a lot of energy from windmills on the North Sea coming on land. There is one nuclear power plant in the Netherlands. It's in Zeeland, and they are preparing more energy possibilities in the region. So energy is important not only for the region, but also to help Europe and to help the country. It's also about water. The sea level rise, people in Zeeland are the first one who feel that. So what are the ways of protecting or using water in another way? Giving land to the sea or make new land in the sea. So you can say that that region can also be a field lab for researchers from everywhere. Not only to help this province, but also to give new insights for estuaria everywhere in the world. So we try to be excellent on a few strategic focus points. And those focus points, when you say, as a knowledge institute and government and business, well, we recognize it's our agenda, then it gives energy to cooperation. But I think the agenda is the basis for giving energy to cooperation. Please, the next slide. I will mention some examples of the cooperation in that region, in the Zeeland region. I will give an insight in some partnerships, and afterwards I will mention some conditions for that cooperation, from what were the success and also the not success factors in the partnership and the cooperation. It's very important research as a connecting link for the region. So we in Zeeland, the strategic agenda is built in an economic board. And in that economic board, it's with research, educational institutes, board members from business and from government. So we call it the triple helix, because those three partners have to do it together. So in the economic board, we also talk about making the strategic agenda, but also what's need for research and innovation. Where do we have to invest together? What are the conditions, especially in the field of water, food and energy, but also in the other fields for the people in Zeeland to have our research in? What are the mutual challenges we meet? And it's very important that business, researchers and government have an agenda also in the field of research. So we try to innovate, to stimulate that by innovative feasibility studies, demo projects, appropriate to the strategic agenda. That's very important. So the economic board is, the owners are the board members of the most important representatives of the research and educational institutes, the business and the government. Campus Zeeland is especially very important to confront demand and supply of knowledge and teaching. What do we miss in the region? Who has to work together to get the right curricula, the right investments on research and education in the region? And it's very important that the Campus Zeeland exists. Not only the members are the knowledge and innovating and educational institutes, but also the governments who have their links to central government, to Europe, to help what kind of investments do we need and what are the conditions to make it possible that we have new investments also in the field of research and education. And Campus Zeeland also made it possible that people work together, and it's very important, in innovation networks. So there are different innovation networks. You can see it as a meeting platforms where business people and researchers and educational institutes work together. How can we help? What does business need? What are the new developments we are confronting ourselves with, and what does that mean for the way we have to invest in research, also in the benefit of business, and also research for the academics in the region, that it's a long-term challenge to invest also in the long-term subjects we have to confront. So it's very important that those two, you can mention it, partnerships. These two partnerships are partnerships working together and to give homework to each other and to come back. What have you done? So it's voluntary, but it's obliged. When you are at the table, you have to deliver. So these are two partnerships, and the next slide will show you two examples of concrete results from those two partnerships in two new institutions. Because of those partnerships, we established a joint research center. It's a laboratory facility for not only for the knowledge institutes, but also for business. It's a joint research center where business people can use it, where all educational institutes in Zeeland can use it. And it exists of an engineering lab, chemicals lab, ecology lab, bio-based building lab, and a data science lab. And it's very, very important that you can say it's the kitchen. It's a kitchen for all the institutes and the business, and they all may use and can use that kitchen for research, for innovation, for education. And it's important to say that it's financed by government and the knowledge institutions. They both made an investment. So the regional government made an investment, and the knowledge institutions made an investment. And you see in this region that the business people, they pay when they use. It's difficult for several business people to give structural budgeting for this kind of institutions, but they say, well, we in the field of client contractor, we will use this joint research center. So it's important that the owners are the knowledge institutions, they are the board members for the Joint Research Center, and it was very important for, also for me as a governor, as a King's Commission, to let central government in the right discussion that it's not an investment only for the region of Zeeland, but what we do there is very meaningful for the national challenges. So there is also an interest, a very important interest for central government to invest in regional institutions. So I'm very glad we succeeded in that. It's the same with the Delta Climate Center. It's the second example. It's a teaching and research institute, a new one, since now I think 2 years. Especially in the field of the regional transitions for sustainable, climate resilient and livable deltas. So it's connecting with the identity, the geographical, the social identity of the region of Zeeland. But the knowledge institutions in my region were each and together too small to make this possible. So we made an alliance, an interregional alliance with the University of Wageningen and the University of Utrecht. And they were already present in the province by studying, using Zeeland as a field lab. And we made them prepared to invest in this new institute and to say, well, it's also your institute. So students, also master students, also people who want to study further in other degrees, they can study in a surrounding where they do their research in. So it's a delta, it's a real delta, and use this living lab Zeeland and invest in this Delta Climate Center. So it was an investment by central government, regional government, the knowledge institutions, and two bigger universities from other regions. Together we invested and made it possible that the Delta Climate Center now is doing a very good job. It's quite, I think, quite an experiment, because this Delta Climate Center, also in the research and education, it's existing of several levels of research. So not only academic research, but also in the field of upper secondary, vocational and applied research, and the higher academic research. They work together by focusing on subjects, on projects. So there are no boundary in the different levels of investigation and innovation and education. So that's quite, I think, interesting and very necessary, because well, I saw some projects and I see how it brings energy for researchers, for people who help and people who think and people who practice what they find out. They need each other. So especially in the field of the subjects on climate resilient and livable deltas, that's very important. And also in this institute, food, water and energy are the very most important focus points for research. So these are two institutions, and it's an effect of the cooperation we had in the Economic Board and in the Campus Zeeland. Please, the next slide. It's hard work to come to these results in the field of research, innovation and making investments together. I think the first condition is you must be aware of mutual dependence. There is no authority, municipality, knowledge institute who can do this alone. So you must see and feel and experience that you need each other. And when you recognize that interdependency, you must have the culture to be open and free to share dilemmas and vulnerabilities and say, well, this is a problem for me, or this is in my institute difficult because of this. You have to share those challenges and those sometimes also big problems. Put it on the table because it's very important that you share each challenge you have in your own organization and in the way you give form and you organize your partnership. Of course, it's very important that the management culture, the leadership, makes it possible to be open and vulnerable. And that it's safe to say, well, I don't know, or my institute doesn't have the money to invest in such an idea. So say it and share the way how you can help each other. Because also in the way of funding, it's very important to have a program together and to be ambitious and then look after the possibilities. When you have a good plan, then you can have a look to the budgets you need in your own organization, in the EU, in your central government, in other fundings, but it starts with a good plan. And management culture must stimulate that attitude. So another very important condition is that when you see everyone is working for its own, for your own interest, but to recognize that what your interest is also a common interest, then you make a bridge. Then you make a bridge that what you are doing is in the common interest, and other people do have they have a benefit in that common interest, and you can speak to them and you can make them participate in your ideas, in your discussion, and when you do a good job in the participation of mutual investments. So I earlier said a very important condition is a joint strategic agenda. What is important for us together, for a region, for a mutual challenge? How do we build that agenda, and how to make very good decisions and also decision making about the implementation? Because there are a lot of good strategic agendas, I can say, also in the Netherlands. A lot of paper, beautiful goals and directions, but a strategic agenda doesn't have many value when it's not going with an implementation program. And that implementation program can start small, but it must have the possibility to grow to make it more structural, not incidental, to learn in the implementation, but don't lose the strategic goals you have together. So a joint investment agenda also for research and information is very important. It must not be optional but binding. That's what you are working for. And at last, the conditions for successful regional cooperation, of course, is good lobbying. And my experience is that when you talk the same story as the knowledge institution does and the business people do, then you have a good lobby. But when some board members of business or knowledge institutions fight for their own and have not a talk to central government, to the European Union, then you won't succeed at all. You have to have one lobby, one story, one ambition, and you have to share that together, and then you come further, and you will achieve a lot, because then people of other regions, other governments, investment funds say, well, they have a good story and it's consequent and they mean what they say and they are working on it. Who you speak in the region, everyone has the same ambition and the same talk. Walk the talk, that's very important. So the next slide, I can be short about that, because when you have a good agenda, when you work on implementation, also in the research and innovation agenda, then it's more easy to work together, but also it makes it more easy to work together with other regions on the different levels. You have, when you are strong in your own agenda, it's more easy to work together with cross-border regions. Zeeland works a lot together with Belgium, with Flanders. We have a harbour together, the North Seaport Harbour. It's the city of Ghent and the city of Terneuzen and Flushing in Zeeland. We made it possible, one harbour organization, two different systems, two different countries, but it's a European harbour, and we had a strategic agenda, and we saw we are mutual dependent and we have to do it together. So it's very important when you have a strong agenda, you can better work together also with cross-regional regions, with cross-border regions. So also on the European level, when you have a good strategic agenda, it's more easy to influence EU regulation, to see the European Commission as a partner, to see at the possibilities, of course, of funding too, the innovation funds, but also to share the successes, to be not only to work for your own region, but to share what your success is with other regions in Europe. That's what the European Commission thinks it's very important. Me too. They fund us because they say, well, it's interesting what they are doing there, but they are obliged to share the way of working with other regions in Europe. That's the way I think it's very important to use the European platform to learn from different regions in our continent. So the next slide gives some focal points for authorities, business and knowledge institutes. I already mentioned for authorities, for government organizations, they can't realize their goals without research and innovation and knowledge institutes. They can't realize the goals themselves. Each municipality or government institute is very dependently. When you look at the most important challenges we have in the field of climate, energy, mobility, livability, social development, you really have to work together. You can't do it yourselves. It's very important also to involve politicians in that field, because my experience is that some board members in government say, well, my electorate, my politicians, they only want to see results in their own municipality. But that's not true, because we nowadays know when you talk to people, they say, well, I live here, but I work over there. The mobility has increased a lot. I see that when it rains in the region, we have very bad weather in our municipality. So please work together. So I think it's very important to not only feel what people think it's important, but to talk with them, to involve the inhabitants in your strategic agenda too. Because people know very good what the main challenges of these days are. And they also know very well that you can't make it alone, you need each other. So for business also is a need of working together. Of course, in some business fields you see they have to, in the market, they have to be strong for themselves. But in most important the most important business sectors, they see we are very dependently. In the the markets of labor, we need the best people. We can't do it ourselves. We have to market our region, because when we try to search for the best people for my business, I won't succeed, I can't do it myself. We have to present the identity of the region, that this is a good region to work, to study for your children. There's a lot of good things to develop, and we have to work together. Also in the field of research, there is so much to do in the digitalization. Also for the small and medium-sized enterprises, they can't do it themselves. They need cooperation, also with the research and knowledge institutes. And when you give them a hand and you say we can help, but you have to work together as a business, then you come further. And it's very important also in your research agenda, I think especially also for the applied science universities, to work together with those business sectors. And the knowledge institutes, well, as I already told, that the scale often is such a point that you need to work together, but you have more chances when you present learning continuity pathways in education, sharing of facilities. I mentioned the laboratoria at the Joint Research Center. So it's very important to look at where are we complementary, where can we work together to get the most excellent curricula for our students, for the people we want to give a good future. So the last sheet, before I really would like to give you the possibility to put some questions or remarks. You know, we have a very turbulent environment in Europe, in the world. I think it's very important when you see that there is a lot of uncertainty, rapidly change of developments. Sometimes there are threats. That it's very important to look after the values, what doesn't change and what must not change. And I think that it's very important to set standards, because many things in what we think as a European inhabitants is important. It's in these times it's more important to make it more explicit, to speak out. Why is it important? Why is it important to make standards of cooperation? What binds us? Because we need each other. We have to respect the differences we have, but we can't do it alone. That's very important. That must not change. It must be strengthened. It's also important to be aware that successful cooperation has implications for your own organization. Cooperation and the way you form your partnership is not a thing what you do after your work or besides your work. It has to do with your work. It's the essence of making results in your work. When you don't feel that, then cooperation and partnership won't be long-lasting. It's not successful. It's very important to, sometimes we forget that, to share the results. Show and tell the results. And not only the results in what you achieved, but also what's difficult, what the difficulties were in making results, in making achievements. You can learn a lot when you are open in that. And last but not least, stress the continuity of shared values and be explicit in that values. It's not for granted we have the values in Europe, in cooperation, that we can be here, different countries, that we can be open respectfully to each other. We think it's normal, but we see in other places in the world it's not for granted, and it's not for the future. you have to work on that and be explicit in that, and that you are proud about that, especially in the surrounding we face now with all the challenges. Now, what doesn't change and must not change, I think, is the belief that mutual interdependency can help each other, that the sharing of experiences and openness can bring a lot good for researchers, innovation, and especially the next generations we work for. And it's very important to work on inclusion, diversity, different views of people. I spoke to some businessmen, they said, well, what is going on the other side of the ocean? Diversity, I can only grow as a person, grow as a business when I have a diverse environment in my business. I need diversity, I need inclusion, otherwise I can't innovate, I can't develop. We need each other. So we are going for that. That makes us strong as an institute, as a region, as people, as Europe. Thank you so much. Yeah, I would like to take the possibility when there is a...
If there are questions, microphone.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Polman, for your speech about your insight from Zeeland. One of the things we face is that small and medium enterprises find it difficult to find a way to university. And of course, this also has to do with us as a university. So from your experience, what would be the first thing we have to change as university to be easier to be found by SMEs?
Yeah. I think it's very important. Each region is different. So you have some regions where universities and small business people meet in all kinds of cooperation. In Zeeland, I must say that for many, especially small businesses, university, well, I haven't studied, I do my job, so that's a new world, a world far away. So in Zeeland, we used the development organization. It's an organization who help small businesses to develop. And we asked them to work together with the universities and to not say to small businesses, come to the university, but we go to your municipality, we have a presentation about what's going on, what's needed, how can, it's called Impulse Zeeland, it's a development organization for and from the small businesses. They are very nearby the small businesses. So sometimes you must not present yourself as a university, but use other organizations to come nearby small businesses. And it worked in Zeeland, it worked. In that field, there was starting innovation platforms, also for small businesses, and universities participate, but are not the first leading organizations in that platform. So it's very important to look at each region. How can we be trustful also for small and medium enterprises?
Thank you. Sorry.
We were talking mostly about the regional government. Can you tell something about the contribution of the local government and their role and how are they looking forward?
Yeah. The question was, I was talking about regional governments, but how were the local governments involved? Well, we had the condition in Zeeland of 13 municipalities, local governments, and a few years ago we said, well, local governments, also the regional government, they need each other. So let's build a table, one table where we sit on and where we talk about the mutual challenges. And since that time, we didn't say as a regional government, we get your competencies as local governments, but we work together. And it started, and now it's an organization with the Zeeuwse table, where all municipalities participate. So when we talk about the cooperation with business, we first talk about the table of the governments, and the different members of the board of the local governments, they are chair of the different themes we have identified on a regional level. So one of the members of the local board is chair of the water table. And there he is discussing with his colleagues of every municipality and the province and the water board about that subject. And they make plans and they help each other, and they keep their own competences. They have to go back to their local representatives, their local councils, to explain what they are doing. And when they need budgets, they have to go back to their local governments. So it was not easy because you need time to feel that you have a common agenda and there is an interdependency, and that also the local councils the local board members take their responsibility for working for the whole region. Not only the province, but also the local wethouders. You know, wethouders in English, aldermen. Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Polman, you have very nicely presented the triangle, the local triangle of local governments working together with academia and as we are working on our research agenda, trying to figure out what our goals gonna be for the next 10 years, we are thinking about our alliance and thinking about the strength, our characteristics, and our competitive advantage, as well as, let's say, our uniqueness as well, because as you know, there's 65 universities, European universities like this. We also try to figure out how to shape our research directions and framework. So my question is, what is your perspective to it? You as an outsider are looking at our 9 different regions of Europe and trying to find out the common denominator. And if you look at us, what do you think is our strengths, our uniqueness, and our competitive advantage? Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I think it's very impressive what you have done in such a not many years. So 5-6 years you have this alliance now. I think it's very important. It's in my contribution, I try to explain that in your own region, it's very important to have good roots with different organizations. Because when you are good rooted in your own region, you can grow high like a tree. But how you do that, it's very important. You share your experiences. That's the first very important goal, I think. Share experiences with other regions in Europe, so you can help each other for how to work together. Secondly, I think when you talk about the challenges about sustainability, digitalization, the social challenges we have, maybe your region is too small. You have to learn and to make this European university the platform. How can we learn? How can we face the challenges we have in common? because the challenges are European, sometimes world challenges. So you need each other with the capacity, with the insights, with the experiences in different cultures, in different geographic challenges you have. You need each other for research and innovation in the field of the subjects you face also in your own region. So I think this is a very good initiative, and I do hope, and I heard there are more EU's projects, but I do hope this alliance will grow and will deepen the cooperation. I think it's needed. Regions are too small. You need each other, so you become smarter and more resilient and more intelligent, and you have a better future for your students. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your presentation. To ask you a favor, know as a professional, as a father, I would like to give you an advice to our young people. What do you recommend to your students? Like father, like professional.
Yeah.
Because for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very important. It's the most important question you can put. I think when, as a father and also as a former mayor and King's Commissioner and now advisor of government, I think it's important that you experience what you like and what you are good in. And I know that sometimes it's difficult when you are young. What do I really like? Where do I get my energy? But I think it's important you know that. Maybe you can't say it quite concrete, but you can feel it, what you like and what you are interested in. So let that be a very good good energy factor in what you choose and what you do and what you don't. And for my own experience, it's important that when you can't choose, because when you are young there are so much possibilities and you can't choose because sometimes people say everything is interesting, and sometimes you can't choose because you don't know what is my really where I'm really good in. I am not good in everything, but I can't say what I'm very good in. Choose and choose what you feel you are happy with, you are interested in, and follow your heart. I think that's the most important way to say it. Follow your heart, and then there is a very beautiful future, and you will be successful and, most important, happy. I'm so sorry for this long answer, but I was thinking and talking. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Polman, for your thoughtful address. Definitely enriched this conference and our discussion further. Thank you very much. At this moment, we will invite some of our brightest STARS-EU students. Our students will share their perspectives, and we will gain a deeper understanding of how STARS-EU is fostering academic excellence and is contributing to real-world engagement across Europe. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished speakers. Mr. Davut Turk, a first-year student from the International Business School at Hansa University of Applied Sciences. Ms. Juliana Gonzalez, a third-year marketing
acting student at Instituto Politecnico de Braganza. Mr. Lorenzo, a second-year master's student in finance and accounting at Alexander Moisiu University. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone, it's already afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Double Turk. I'm a 20-year-old international business student at Hans Hogeschool. And to be honest, standing here feels a little bit surreal. Like, I don't speak in public often, especially not for a crowd this big. And I have to admit I was a little bit anxious at the beginning, but as like the anxiety changed into gratitude the last days, I see it as a wonderful opportunity. So I want to thank everyone who made it possible for me to be here in the beautiful country of Albania. And I want to thank all the staff members from Alexander Moisiu University. Faleminderit. Firstly, I want to explain how I got into STARS-EU. Then I'll share my experiences with the Future Lab in Krakow. And then I'll share my little vision for STARS-EU in the future. So this is the first picture which was taken in the student board. My journey with STARS-EU actually started in a way I would have never expected, with a simple email. One day I just got an email from Patricia. I read through it, and as a child from a Polish mother and a Turkish father, I really liked all the international aspect of it. So I told my mom immediately, "Mom, I'm going to apply for STARS-EU." She didn't know what it was, but I was curious. I reached out, and after that, after a few weeks, I was in my first meeting, and I was part of a growing network of students and professionals working on building STARS-EU as we know it now. This email opened a door of opportunities for me, not only on a personal level, but also on an international scale. And sometimes all it takes is only taking the first steps, and we are taking this step now all together. Can I go to the next slide? So one of the most impactful experiences for me in STARS-EU was the Future Lab in Krakow. We were working with Portuguese, French and Polish, and me were working on a urban project in Zaklice. The objective was to think of solutions and actually come up with a plan to improve tourism and livability in the city. What made this experience very valuable for me is the fact that we were collaborating with students from many nationalities. As I'm studying international business, it's not super new for me, but I can imagine for other students it was a very unique experience. But what was outstanding for me as well is that we were working with students in the fields of marketing, in the field of architecture, and I believe in informatics as well. So we all collaborated and we learned like a lot from each other. It was something I've never done before. I feel like this experience not only enriched me, but also the Portuguese and the Polish students as well, and not to forget the French ones. It was an event which made the gaps between us smaller as we were working together, and it was truly amazing as we also had the chance to find out more about each other's cultures, and it was just really enriching. And what also stood out for me is that nobody knew all the answers alone. We really had to collaborate and work together on the certain solutions. It was a perfect example of interdisciplinary collaboration, which could lead to stronger and more well-rounded results. As was mentioned before by Sir Pullman, I believe we should be mutual dependent because we can't do it alone. And I think the bigger stage in Europe should also take this example of us. I developed skills in working in a startup style, so we were like fast-paced, like impact focused on real impact. And we were introduced to the real power of teamwork since everybody was specialized in something differently. I think the intercultural competence in these classrooms was really shown, like no classroom or no textbook could do better. And I want to thank the teachers and facilitators once again from Krakow Politechnica University for this amazing experience and for facilitating everything. And I'm pretty convinced every student should at least experience this once in their lifetime, because it's really, I have no words for it. It's so nice to meet other co-students and know that you are all the future together, and there's like so much you can learn. And as was mentioned earlier, it makes the gap between us, the youth of Europe, smaller. Can I go to the next slide? Beyond projects like this Future Lab in Krakow, I have taken the role together with my friend Steven in the student board to grow presence of Stars EU on social media. We are focused especially in TikTok. Our goal is to raise more awareness for Stars EU by creating content, by creating short videos, by creating awareness and spreading this message into the world. Recently, we posted a video and it almost hit 400,000 views, and it got already over 70,000 likes. So we hope by this that we can plant a seed in people's mind that Stars EU is actually a thing and that it's upcoming. Looking ahead, I would love to get more students involved in Stars EU because I think we are the future, we are young. It's like our job to make this whole thing happen. Secondly, I would love to see a stronger collaboration because universities, local communities and businesses. And why? Just because we can, as we have shown in the past already. And I think it's a nice thing to work towards in the future. And lastly, I would love to see an opportunity to get more real-world problem-solving opportunities being given to students, but not only to the students, also to the professionals, to gain field experiences and also learn about each other, about each other's cultures, and just become a better person in general. Stars EU has so much potential, and I think we can create a meaningful change. By working together, we can make a lasting impact for so many people. And really, like the Zaklitzin project was only all affecting 1,500 people, so why not really reach for the stars? And all of this is new. All of this is really new to all of us, but I'm convinced we can make it happen. And this is why we are here, to learn, connect, shape the future together. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. Okay, we don't lunch yet, so. My name is Juliana Gonçalves. I'm a marketing student. I'm in third year. I'm from Bragança Polytechnic University. And I have a question to all of you. Who is here at the conference for the first time? Please raise their hands. Okay, it's a lot of people. I'm here for the first time too. And it's the first time that I speak for such a big audience, so I'm a little nervous. But it's not my first time abroad. I already participated in programs, and I found that because I signed up for an extracurricular discipline at my university, and the teacher already know me for other extracurricular activities. And she invited me, do you want to participate at one VIP? And I look at her and say, yes, of course. But I had no idea what that was. And I just went ahead. So what did we do? My first VIP was at Anse University, if I pronounced that well. And we made a lot of team building activities every day. Ice-breaking activities, so that was really good because we create a bond. We have a lot of workshops about design thinking, new work methods. We work with the previous one? The last one, please. Last slide. Okay, thank you. We have a lot of workshops. We start working with new tools like Figma. I never used that before. We made prototypes, used 3D printing, and all of that intensive week with that ice-breaking activities, with the workshops, was really good because the final presentation went really well because we know each other. So when we are presenting, you feel more confident. Next slide, please. So this is our work. We work with the Gunter Grass Museum. I know I have a lot of people from Germany here. I hope you know who Gunter Grass is, because I had the opportunity to learn about him, and he was very important. Our final results, so we made a prototype, and we mix the digital and the physical, and we create our final project. The museum loved it and going to implement it, so that's amazing for us. Next slide, please. So we have the experience to learn new cultures, new places, history, the habits, because we hear about the things like I'm studying Martin, and we speak about the Scandinavian, the Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands, but just theoretically, and it's really different to experience that. Next slide. So forget the person there, but the view was amazing. We had so lucky to experience that. It was really different from what I thought that would be. You had the chance to try the culture, the people, how they work, their places, the food. That was amazing. So after that, one thing, I don't bring any statistics because I forgot that. Sorry, but I improve a lot my skills. And in the disciplines, the teacher said, "You're better now." That was notorious. Like, I really learned a lot of things, a new way to think. Next one. So this is the second BIP. When I finished the first one, I was like, I want more of this. I really like that. I want more. So I speak with Gabriel. He's there. He's from the student board, and he posts something on Instagram. And I asked him, "What is that? How can I participate more?" And he said, "Go to the StarZoo website and read. You will find some VIPs to the future." And I do that, and I found the one at the Polytechnic of Krakow. And they asked for someone from communication. My degree is in Martin, but it's more focused in communication. So I was like, okay, that could be a good opportunity for me. It will be a multidisciplinary team. I loved the previous experience, so I'm going again. So I applied, I was accepted, and we had the opportunity to, so I need to explain that. The first one at Hans University, we start with the virtual component, and the last week was the face-to-face appointment. But in Polytechnic of Krakow starts differently. We start with the presential week, and we have the opportunity, because otherwise we won't be able to understand the project, to visit Zaklik. Sorry. We have the opportunity to visit the city. And we have a very immersive cultural experience. Music was like, we don't have a lot of information at the internet about the city. And when we visit, I was like, wow, I have a lot of potential. Next slide. When we start discussing the ideas, it was amazing, the different perspectives. We have architectures, we have people from international business, from different countries, and everyone started to give in different perspectives. And I was like, it was amazing. I never thought about that before. I never looked at a place on that way. So we start to construct the first presentation. And I feel like I'm useful for this project. I'm like, I know that I can do like a territorial marketing plan, because I can implement things that I have in my country. They don't have here yet. I understand that will work, because we start collecting the data, preparing everything. So during this semester, because it's still going, is the one Davu is into, we're going to do more. Sorry. So this is a. So I think this changed a lot in my professional, academic, and personal experience. I felt more confident to speak in public, a little bit. And now I think more about an international career, like going abroad and do my master's at ANZE, for example. It changed a lot the vision I had from all of that countries, and changed me a lot in a lot of ways and in a real different context. So I hope the Stars EU continues to grow and reach more students. We need more VIPs. We are in a competitive Europe, so because the market is more competitive, so we need to improve, to expand our opportunities and have new experiences. Stars EU is doing that with us, is challenging us. So all of us are a living proof of that. That is really great for us. So we need to have more projects and continue the good work, like Davu was saying, at the social media. So thank you very much for the opportunities, and that's it.
Hello everyone, my name is Joan Joy, and first of all, I want to ask all international students to stand up. Please stand up, all international students. All of you, welcome in University Alexandru Moisiu of Durrës. I'm honored to share with you my experience participating. No, now you can. Thank you. I'm honored to share with you my experience participating in the intensive week of the Stars EU blended intensive program, which took place from the 4th to the 8th of December at Hans University of Applied Sciences in Groningen. This experience was truly transformative, not only academically, but also personally, as it provided me with the opportunity to engage in an international learning environment and collaborate with students and professors from various European universities. One of the highlights of the program was the various gatherings, which include both interactive learning, seminars, and the highly engaging online simulation games. This game was more than just a competition. It was a practical, hands-on entrepreneurship project that simulated real-world business challenges. Through the simulations, we were taken through every stage of business development, from ideation and market research to business modeling, financing, and launching our startups. The game also covered essential aspects such as management and decision-making in the first year of business operation. The stimulation was completed by lecture, workshops, and coaching seasons from professors across the participating universities, providing us with theoretical knowledge and practical skills. This experience was incredibly enriching in multiple ways. Working in teams composed of students from different backgrounds and academic discipline exposed me to a new perspective and ways of thinking. The BIP provided a comprehensive learning process that enhanced me understanding of how business are developed and managed in real life. The challenges of working in an international team taught me the importance of communication, adaptability, and decision-making under uncertainty. Engaging with students and professors from different European universities expand my academic and professor network, which I believe will be beneficial in my future career. In conclusion, the STARS-EU was an eye-opening transformation experience. It provided me with practical business knowledge, the opportunity to develop essential skills, and exposure to an international academic environment. I am deeply grateful for this opportunity and encourage other students to participate in such programs as they offer invaluable experience that go beyond traditional classroom learning. I'm grateful to STARS-EU, a family of true stars that shine on the path of the future. Thank you all.
Long round of applauses for the future of STARS-EU. Thank you very much. It is now my pleasure to invite Professor Tomasz Gongol, Rector of the Silesian University of Opava, to announce the dates of the 6th STARS-EU Annual Conference next year. Please, Professor, join the stage.
Hello, stars. Let's shine together also the next year. I hope to see you all in Opava. So save the date. It will be March. By surprise, March 25th to 27th. So you are all invited. Be welcomed. You can see one of our buildings. It's a rectorate, but we have many more and many more beautiful places to visit. Also the pubs and everything we need. So don't worry and please come. Hope to see you all there. Thank you.
At this moment, we kindly request all the participants to gather for a group photo in front of Building 2. This will be a wonderful opportunity to capture the collective energy and commitment that we had till now and advancing the goals of this conference and the STARS-EU initiatives. Following the photo session, we invite you to enjoy the lunch, which will be served at Building 2 at 13 at the hall of the building. We look forward to continuing together our productive discussions after the break at the parallel afternoon sessions. See you later for the photo group.
And love. A shared knowledge using our sense. We can learn, grow, connect, and build a world. Diversity is our strength. We come from different regions of Europe and tackle challenges facing Europe from multiple points of view. And we share a belief that cooperation will benefit individuals as well as society.